your question, you know,
It's a question that's pondered a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I just thought I wanted to know, which one it is, but it could be it could be either this one or that one, so it doesn't, no.
what was, well, sometimes I talk to too many people. Correct me if I'm wrong, was Dr. Condon's view on this, that there were intermarriage between a line of Seth and the line of Cain?
Well,
Can you remember?
I know that that's one that's been brought up, but I don't remember if that was on here.
Well, because I tend to move in that direction. Not that I'm right or wrong, because, like I said, as theologians, that would be this. But okay, any other questions?
I just want to say though that I remember somebody talking about they really worried about Satan, and they just knew that he was trying to get at them, but they weren't Christian. But they spent more time dwelling on that instead of dwelling on God and dwelling on the Word, and that's just it was just like kind of a trickery to their brain,
Right.
So although you talk about this tonight and it kind of creeps you out, yeah.
You remember the
Stop
song?
thinking about it and think about
You think-
the Word.
Think
Be
about
in the Word. Yeah.
Think about the song. Be not dismayed, whatever betide, God
Yeah.
will take care of you.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
gives it can have peace, living in a world
Be
like
thou
this.
not dismayed.
When I was in high school, we had a youth drama team that went on a tour, and one of the members of that team was a new believer, and he thought that he was possessed because the youth pastor at the time had to take him aside and say, hey, you're saved, you're covered, but you don't. He had to sort of talk you down from that idea and explain to him, the devil's trying to trip you up. You're not.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he's a master at it.
Yeah.
He's a master at it. He knows our weaknesses. Oh, yes,
One more question.
just one per night.
It's one per night, right?
Come on.
That's it.
But this is and I know I don't know if I want to mention, but any other denomination, right? But I've heard Calvinists, right? Calvinism, that they believe in that they're already in predestination, something like that. Yeah, and but one of the things, like when I know when Jesus is talking, he's talking to the Father in one of the Gospels. He tells him, none of the ones you gave me, I've lost, but just one, the son of perdition, right? I mean, my question is on that, on Judah, right? He was already lost. He came to the world already lost because he's the son of perdition, or how does that work?
You can't.
Judas,
you can't. You have a choice. Everybody that has ever been born and his name, written in the book of life. If you don't have a choice, okay, let's just say a person, they say, well, he's predestined to hell. He has no choice. Well, if he has no choice, then how can God judge? God is a fair judge. He's fair. Plus, you got all through the Bible. I've got I wrote a pamphlet on this subject, and it doesn't make me an authority. I just was wondering, like you were, how does this all fall out? Because I think that's one of the big dividers of the church today is the people in my former church were Calvinists. John MacArthur's a Calvinist. Whether they're 5-point Calvinists, which they believe every single thing, I don't know. There's some that are not, that are, they all teach the word well, they all know the word well. It's just that some believe that you've been predestined before the foundations of the world to either be saved or not saved. You have no choice in the matter. And to me, that's where I differ. And places like in the book of Acts with the Philippian jailer, it says, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved? Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved in thy house." He didn't say, "But you may lose it," or, "Oh, it depends on whether or not you've been foreordained." He didn't say anything like that. The thief on the cross, same thing. No, not the same thing.
So you would say that Jude was already lost, though. Like he was never.
Judas?
He had
Yeah,
the
Judas. I'm
opportunity.
sorry, I keep saying Jude.
He spent 3
Yeah.
years with Christ in his ministry. He had every opportunity to be saved and to believe, but it's my opinion that he just rejected the whole thing. I think he thought that Christ was going to use his power as the Son of God to drive the Romans out. And so he went to the Pharisees and thought, well, he's not doing it just wandering around the countryside, but let him go ahead and put the cuffs on him, and then his power will come out. That's one thing I've heard. And it just backfired on him, and when he saw that it did, he killed himself.
Don't forget, God knows our hearts,
Yeah.
right? And he knows if you are going, because of God's foreknowledge, he knows who's going to accept it and who's not going to accept it. And so he knows our hearts, and he knew Judas's heart. He knew that he was not going to ever, bow down and repent of his sins, right?
Because he knew the outcome,
Yeah. And so.
not because he forced him.
Yeah.
So in other words, he
Nobody
never.
forced him. I mean, he could have bowed down and said, "Lord, when they gave him the money and he made that deal, right, with the hierarchy, right, with the chief priests and stuff, he could have said, "No, I'm not going to do it." But no, he chose to do it, And this goes back to Pharaoh. God did not harden Pharaoh's heart. God knew what Pharaoh was going to do, and Pharaoh hardened his own heart.
So he never did accept Jesus. In other words,
We-
and that's the reason why he was
It
lost.
doesn't seem that way, but no human can say, can they?
Well, it says it somewhere, and I'm trying to find it, that said after he either right after he held the cup or had the cup, that Satan entered into it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking for that one, but I can't find it.
And didn't you
Think
say
John.
that
Yeah, I think you're right. That's
right
what it was
before
at.
that, even up to the end, he was giving him a chance?
Yeah, because Jesus called him my friend. Right?
My friend.
These people have every opportunity to repent of their sins, right? But they refuse to do that.
Because God wishes no one to perish.
When you consider Pharaoh, since Pharaoh comes up when this issue is discussed, I think it's in Romans. I'm trying to find the exact passage, but when Pharaoh comes up and said that God hardened his heart, what else did God do with him but give him every opportunity? There were 10 plagues, and each time a plea went out to him to obey the Lord, to let my people go. And he had that choice every time. And every time he chose not to. And even after he let them go, when the firstborn were killed, he still turned back and went the other direction. And that was ultimately to his destruction.
And his advisors went to him
Yeah.
and said, "Let the people go. Their God is destroying our country." And he refused to listen to them.
I think that's in John 13:27.
Yeah, it is, and it's saying, and after Satan entered into him, which means he wasn't there before. I don't think that when you have your disciples around you, you've got Christ himself, God in the group, that Satan was not gonna try very much. So Judas had the opportunity, I think up until that time, to be saved. But then it's interesting, then Jesus said unto him, I wasn't necessarily talking to Judas at this time, even though that's what it's about. He's talking to Satan, that thou doest, do quickly. Same thing he said to Peter in the garden, get thee behind me, Satan. Talking to Peter, looking at Peter, but talking to Satan. He may have been looking at Judas here and talking to Satan, because it said, after that, Satan entered into him. So who was Christ talking to?
Satan.
You know?
Good point. Good point.
Anyway, I gotta go.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I think we're all gonna go. All right,
That's fine.
it's 7:05. This has been good. This has been good.